Right, hi Nature School. Today we're gonna talk about animal care. Now we have animal ambassadors here at the Erie MetroParks that we use to help educate everybody like you guys about different kinds of animals and different habitats. So these animal ambassadors really help adults and kids and everybody understand about that certain species. So, for example, we have an eastern fox snake, and not a lot of people really like fox snakes. But for some people, it helps to understand fox snakes and other snakes if you see a snake up close and learn about that animal, learn about where they live, how they hunt, and why they behave the way they do. So let's take a look at our animal ambassadors and feed them their favorite things and just learn about what it takes to care for these animals.
All right, so we are going to start with our box turtles. We have two box turtles. We have a male and female. This is where they live. They live in one big tank. They have soil-like substrate on the bottom because they are terrestrial animals, meaning they like land. They have a heat lamp because they require heat to regulate their body temperature. And this is a special light called a UV light. UV lights help turtles absorb a special vitamin called vitamin D. And vitamin D allows turtles to absorb calcium, which helps them with their bone growth along with their shell growth. And we also offer them a place to hide, like this log under here, and there's a turtle. All right, so I'm getting out the male here, and this is a male box turtle. You can see his red eyes. Male box turtles typically have red eyes, and on their bellies they have a little dip right here, and those are two characteristics of male box turtles. Okay, so I'm going to put him back, and then I'll grab the female here. She likes to hide underneath this log. You see how she's covered herself in dirt and soil? Box turtles typically like to do that. Here she is. Let me get the, here she is. So she's opened her eyes. Female box turtles typically have brown eyes. Okay, so I got a bucket of non-chlorinated water, so that means it doesn't have any chlorine in it. It's just safer for the animals if it's that way. Their tank needs to be moist, their soil needs to be moist, so I'm just dumping water here. And then I'm just going to kind of rub it around, make sure it's evenly spread. And then that'll make their substrate and soil the way they would like it. It's also important to make sure that their tank has plenty of humidity too. So there's a special gauge, I'm not sure if we can see inside the tank, but it shows how moist it is inside of the tank, and it shows us the temperature. The temperature is just as important. And I'm going to get him a fresh thing of water, so I'm going to rinse this out, dump it and rinse it. Now they have a clean water bowl. I dumped it out and I washed out the water bowl. And now it's time to put some fresh water in there. It's always really important to make sure all of your animals have fresh water all the time, available all the time, no matter what time of day it is, and make sure their water source is nice and clean. Now let's cut up their fruit and feed them. All right, so box turtles require both meat and vegetables, so we pretty much feed vegetables on certain days and protein on certain days. So today is a vegetable and fruit day. So box turtles likes all kinds of different lettuces. Today they're getting spinach, so I'm cutting up some spinach, and then I'm going to mix it in with some blueberries. I need to chop them up into little pieces just to make sure they can have bite-sized pieces so they're not so big, because we want to make sure they're able to eat it. Right, we do buy earthworms for the box turtles. We put each box turtle in their own container and then put a couple of earthworms in each container. Then we allow the box turtles plenty of time to catch and eat the earthworms. So we're going to move on to our amphibians and painted turtle. This is a leopard frog habitat. They're aquatic, so they need water and pebbles. This is our painted turtle tank. They're aquatic turtles, so they need plenty of water. They need a platform for them to rest on and get plenty of air. They also need a special filter to help keep the water nice and clear and clean. And next is our spotted salamander tank. Spotted salamanders need places to hide, so they love to hide underneath that log. The substrate or pebbles need to be nice and wet because amphibians need to have wet skin all the time. Alright, so next let's feed the amphibians. So we're going to feed the spotted salamander and the leopard frog today. I need to spray their containers because, like I said, their skin needs to stay moist and wet all the time, so spraying the containers will help with that. So what do these guys eat? They eat bugs. So we started our own mealworm farm. We feed them mealworms. So we have adult beetles. This is the pupa, which the pupa will turn into the adults. But we feed our animals the larval stage of the beetles, which is the mealworm. And we separate them so they're easy to find. So let's find a good mealworm to feed the leopard frog. Okay, so we have a education rabbit. His name is Twitch. So let's get him out. We let Twitch run every single day. He even has a special playpen for him to play in with lots of toys. We give him treats in there as well. So let's walk over to his playpen so he can get some exercise. You have to deal with many things with animal care, and one of those things is you have to deal with poop all the time. So we have to make sure Twitch's cage is nice and clean and clear of his own poop. So the nice thing about this is he poops in the same spot. So we clean it out every day in the special bedding. So we scoop it and throw it away. And then we either put more bedding in if it needs it. If not, then we just kind of fluff it up and clean it up, and he'll be good to go. And then we'll check down below, which is where he hangs out most of the time. We clean up any debris that we see. Make sure he has plenty of food, plenty of water. So we check that daily as well. So we kind of scoop everything up, clean it up, make sure he has a nice clean area for him to live in. And then we'll give him more of his food pellets and more hay, and then more water for him to drink. So this is where we keep Twitch's food and bedding. The top part are his food pellets. It's made out of hay and plant material. And then down below, we have his bedding. It's made out of cedar. It smells really good. So you just add water to it and it makes it all fluffy, and then we add it to his hutch. So I'm gonna cut up an apple for our mealworms and our pal Twitch. Twitch loves an apple here and there too as a special treat. Apples and vegetables and fruits with any moisture in it gives the mealworms a water source for them to help them stay hydrated and to keep them alive. So let's cut these apples up here and give them to Twitch and also the mealworms. Last but not least, we're going to check on our snakes. We have a corn snake, which is the orange one here, and the eastern fox snake, who is really liking its water bowl. We check the snake cage daily just to make sure they look physically okay, and make sure the bedding is okay, and make sure there's no poop in the water, and also no poop in the cage. So I see a spot right here. So I'm going to take a paper towel and clean it up and make sure it's nice and clean. We also check the water too. So we always take the water bowl, clean it if we need it, and put new water in there. So we don't have to feed our snakes every single day like some of our animals. We feed our snakes every 2 weeks because snakes do not require to eat that much at one time. So when we do feed them, we feed them dead mice. We keep a stash in the freezer, and we take however many out and let them thaw and let them set to room temperature. And then we put the snake in the tank along with the mice, and we let the snakes sit there for a good while to allow them to eat their food. We always make sure we keep track of what all of our animals are eating. That way it's easier for us to make sure that they have a healthy appetite, they physically look good. That way we can manage their health and safety. All right, Nature School, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you learned a little bit about animal care and had fun learning about all of our animals here at Erie MetroParks.
If you have any questions, feel free to comment below and we'd be happy to help you out. Have a good day. Bye.